I went to medical school at the Medical College of Wisconsin and attended undergraduate school at Johns Hopkins University. I'm a practicing physician, and I've counseled many students for advice on their career and for admissions to schools and residency programs. I've been practicing in internal medicine for over 20 years. I'm board certified in internal medicine and also in clinical informatics, which is a subspecialty of preventive medicine. I've spent the majority of my career practicing in student health, taking care of college students. I've also been helping guide students, teach students, and I am an assistant clinical professor at the Keck School of Medicine at USC. I've worked in student health centers at UCLA, USC, and Cal State Northridge. And I also have a separate career track, or a related career track, working at a software company, which is called Point and Click. I'm Vice President of Clinical Architecture there. And we are the largest student health EHR, electronic health record vendor in the nation. And our clients include schools such as Harvard, Stanford, and the UC system. I think the key to success in the first 2 years of medical school, the academic portion of medical school, is to absorb a large amount of information and determine what is important. And I really think the key to success is to figure out what is important, what is most important, what is less important, and focus your efforts on learning what's most important. As far as the clinical years, that requires a slightly different set of skills. So of course that involves applying the knowledge that you've gained in your academic years, but also learning much more. It involves a lot more working with people and in teams. So it's really important to interact well with patients, listen to them, learn from them, have empathy for them. And also, when you impart your treatment plans, it's important to be convincing with them, to help them understand why it's important, to motivate them to follow through with your treatment plans. It's also very important to work within medical teams, so with your attending physician, with your residents, with other medical students. So working within teams, interacting well with people, working with nurses and ancillary staff, that's probably the key and what will lead to your success in the clinical years. I think what's unique for me is I was a student member of the admissions committee at the Medical College of Wisconsin. So as a student, I was involved in interviewing and evaluating prospective students. And along with staff members, we would determine whether they would move on to the next step or be given an acceptance or denial. That taught me a great deal about the admissions process. When you're interviewing or evaluating so many students, you get a very good sense of what's important, what you're looking for, what's maybe less important. And with that information, I was able to apply that to myself when I applied for residency programs. I've had many people who interviewed me for residency. At the end of the interview, they commented on how strong an interviewer I was. So I think I can attribute that to my experience on the admissions committee. And the information I gained there, I would really like to pass that along to other prospective students. In addition to what I learned from being on an admissions committee, I've spent the majority of my career working with students in student health, taking care of them, making sure their health and well-being are the best they can be, and also teaching students and advising them, whether it be on how to interact with patients, how best to apply for their next school or residency program, giving them career advice, just kind of all aspects of student life and student careers. Well, when I went through the process of applying for medical school and residency and beyond, I didn't really have any kind of formal help, and I really wish I had. I felt like I had to kind of figure it out on my own. Of course, I sought out help on my own, but I didn't really have any kind of structured, consistent help. And so I understand why students may need that. And so I'm very happy to pass that along. And I've been passing it along to my students, but having a more formal, structured, guided method of advice and counseling is something that I wish I had had, and I would really enjoy passing that along.